Yeah. Oh man, starting off with a pop
Tom
song.
and Jerry are about to start over.
Yeah, right. Nope. Gets hit. Okay, that was actually
In the
pretty
big
cool.
city.
Because why not? So,
This hotel has been hosting 4 presidents, 3 popes, 2 kings, and we're about to host the wedding of the century.
Do you think you're qualified to take on this position?
I shine under pressure, like a diamond. Or Rihanna.
One other thing,
Rihanna reference.
we have a mouse problem.
With the what now? I'll catch it, sir.
Huh. So is the door supposed to look?
Oh wow, this is so detailed. We could hire an exterminator, or we can leverage millions of years.
Of course,
predatory
Jerry copies his
evolution.
butt. Ooh, Tom is mad.
If a picture of this mouse is tweeted out to Instabook Face or TikTok, we will be
Ha 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 ha! Doesn't get the
No,
social
sir,
media
that's not gonna happen.
references.
That rodent is toast.
Oop! Gets electrocuted.
I will not let this hotel be ruined by a cat and a mouse.
You tell him, Ken Jong. But actually, more than likely, it's gonna be ruined by a cat.
I
and
think I
mouse.
might have just pulled this off.
Really?
Oh, but Tom is going flying, and it's going to shambles. Oh, you could have had a more like epic scream, especially compared. I don't know, yeah, because it's just like the Tom and Jerry cartoons. I liked it more when in Tom's scream was like, ah! Like a really like big screams. Oh boy. So hey everybody, Blood Moon Bobby here. So yes, checking out the Tom and Jerry trailer here for the new movie. As you could probably guess, I'm doing this basically right after I did the Nintendo DS live stream. So a quick overview of my thoughts of the Tom and Jerry cartoon, because Tom and Jerry is honestly, I would consider my favorite Hanna-Barbera cartoon. I mean, not that I don't like Scooby-Doo or the Flintstones, but it's the kind of thing where it's like the dialogue is a little harder for me to like get into because it feels kind of dated. But overall, I still like watching watching Scooby-Doo and the Flintstones every now and again. Makes me kind of wish I knew about Boomerang, which is basically the used to be the Hanna-Barbera channel, but I wish I knew about that channel back when I was a kid. And Tom and Jerry is probably the Hanna-Barbera cartoon I watched the most, as I would say, for my favorite. It was a show that, like, me, my sis, and even my mom, surprisingly, which is kind of weird because she's not really one for cartoon violence. And yeah, we just really love watching the Tom and Jerry cartoons. Instead of focusing on like character dialogue, it was much more about the rivalry between Tom and Jerry and a lot of the really crazy slapstick they would get into, and it was all very funny. And of course, you know, with Tom's really crazy yell and some of the things that they've done to each other is like, I can think of times where like Jerry, he has like cut a Tom into pieces. There was like another cartoon that's kind of like what we saw in the trailer where like Tom is like slid onto a road and gets like hit and flattened by a car or a bus, and it was all humorous and really fun and to watch. I used to watch those cartoons a lot as a kid, and they still rank among one of my favorite Hanna-Barbera cartoons. I'll be honest, I was really hesitant about going into this trailer because I did want to see a Tom and Jerry movie, and I wasn't going in with the mindset of, oh my god, Tom and Jerry the movie where Tony J's says we got to have money. Like, I wasn't necessarily thinking it's going to be as bad as that movie, because I was open to the idea of maybe this could work as long as they give it a good story, and we sort of seen it work in the past. In fact, one of the first Tom and Jerry cartoons I remember seeing as a kid was actually Tom and Jerry The Magic Ring, which I remember liking as a kid. But the reason I was concerned was because with Scoob, even though I don't think Scoob is as bad a movie as some people may say, it has like flaws where it feels like it over relies on pop cultural references, and I could understand why some people think it was really strange how it was very much focused on Scooby and Shaggy, but it felt like the Mystery Gang just got kind of pushed to the side. So with those reasons, I just kind of came into this Tom and Jerry trailer with a lot of hesitation, and after seeing what I just saw, I kind of feel like I had my reasons to be concerned. Yeah, I could see that. I'll start off with my concerns with this trailer. First of all, so yeah, it still has a lot of the same issues I had with Scoob as a movie. Like, you know, the pop culture soundtrack. I really think they should have put like more of like a bouncy, like maybe like a crazy, humorous, cartoony soundtrack you would expect from like a Warner cartoon, but the use of the pop culture music it throughout, I just felt it was really out of place for Tom and Jerry. I know they're trying to modernize it and try to make it, you know, more so, and try to make it cater to younger audiences, but I just kind of feel like it just comes off as movie marketing to me, and it makes me concerned that that might be one of the really big problems with the upcoming Hanna-Barbera movies. I was worried they weren't going to do what they did with Scoob, but now I'm just concerned they were going to do that, especially with that one character who does the thing where it's like he doesn't get social media, and he's like, oh, that thing you call TikTok, or the what's that Facebook, like, you know, it's, they do those kind of jokes where it's supposed to be tee hee ha ha, that person doesn't understand social media. So unfortunately, with all those kind of modern pop culture references, it just kind of makes me concerned about the movie, and it may come off as really distracting, because when they put a lot of like modern references into the Scoob movie, like they had Simon Cowell, and they made references to like Netflix and Walmart. Like I remember the scene where in the opening of Scoob where they bust the bad guy, and Shaggy is like, this guy has like a hidden Walmart in here. And even when they introduce one of the characters, you can hear the AT&T chime, the, and I was just like, I get it, Warner, you're owned by AT&T now. So those kind of jokes, even though they don't like take up much of the story of the movie, whenever they did pop up, it was really distracting. And so I'm kind of hoping that when they release the final movie, which the release date, let me double check. The release date for Tom and Jerry is coming out. IMDb says they expect it for release on March 5th, 2021, which we'll have to see how that goes with coronavirus, or maybe they'll put it on HBO Max, like or maybe they'll just put it on like video on demand, like what they did with Scoob, or maybe they'll pull a Wonder Woman 1984 by putting it on HBO Max. I mean, actually, that movie is coming in both theaters and HBO Max, so we'll have to see if maybe they'll go down that route with Tom and Jerry. As for the animation, the animation actually, you know, kind of I kind of liked what they did with the animation in this movie. I thought it was just going to be a thing where it's like Tom and Jerry were the only animated ones, but it looks like also even some of the background characters, like we saw that the elephants were animated, and even I think the door that Jerry lives in that goes to his room was also animated itself, because like we saw it move around a bit. So I thought those details were pretty interesting and creative. Yeah, so it has some nice animation bits thrown in there. I do like how they didn't go the route where they try to make like Tom and Jerry like super realistic. I think that would actually take away a lot of the appeal of this movie. Instead, the designs stick much closer to the Hanna-Barbera days, where they go that sort of as somebody pointed out, the Roger Rabbit route, where the characters, it's not that the animated characters look super realistic, they just like kind of show up in their sort of animated forms. And that was honestly the kind of route that I wouldn't mind if Pokemon Detective Pikachu went down that route. So it's kind of nice that they did that with Tom and Jerry. Could you imagine if they put like a realistic looking cat and mouse and other animals? I'm not going to get into that. And the slapstick was it was meh at best. Like some of them were kind of cool, like Tom, where they did that intro at the beginning where it looks like Tom and Jerry are gonna be friends, and that bus hits Tom, and also the scene where at the end where it looks like Tom is gonna fly was okay, but I kind of wish that the scream was, because I think it would be even funnier if like Tom could really like express pain in that. I sound really like insane saying this, but it's like I like that in the Tom and Jerry cartoons. Whenever like Tom's like hand would get slammed or Jerry would really hit it hard, it would be like ah, and it would just make it just makes that extremity makes the slapstick even more humorous to me. So I hope in the final movie that the slapstick is much better and much more funny. I am kind of like a sort of hesitant on the plot, so it's like, they have this like hotel with a wedding coming up. Hopefully this movie at the very least has like some really good like comedy thrown in the film. I'm still really kind of shook up because of the pop culture references. I really hope they tone it down for the movie itself. I think I even mentioned it when I did the Scoob review with Steven and Gabby that if they tone down the pop culture references, it would be fine. I mean, if they throw it in like, every now and then, like if it's like visually, like I think movies that do it like in a much more subtle manner where like in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, like there are scenes where you see Miles Morales like go on his smartphone every now and then, but they don't like over like emphasize it with really corny jokes in something like a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I think if it's like much more natural and subtle, then it would be okay. I understand, yes, you got to get the, younger kids into the movie and you got to have modern pop culture references. Like obviously you're not going to have Chloe Grace Moritz and Ken Jeong like talk in a style of the way that the older Tom and Jerry cartoons would. Like, of course, you gotta modernize it, but I hope they don't like really go like too far and really overemphasize that kind of stuff. Like if they do the sort of thing they did in Scoob, where it's like we have like like a Netflix it's account joke, or the Walmart thing, or that stupid AT&T which now that AT&T owns Warner, I really just hope they don't do a stupid thing like have a character say like, oh, AT&T's 5G is really good. Like, I really hope they don't do that in this upcoming Tom and Jerry movie. So I don't know. I mean, with a trailer reaction, you obviously can't say that, oh, this movie is screwed or anything of that sort. If at least the slapstick is good, then I'll be down for this upcoming Tom and Jerry movie. I'm still planning to check it out. We'll have to see if it really is going to be in theaters, because they're, emphasizing that, hey, Tom and Jerry are coming back to the big screen, but I'm not really sure if it's, who knows what it's going to be like in March. Will coronavirus still be a problem, or can they just release it in theaters like they normally do, or are they going to have to go the Wonder Woman 1984 route where they release it in both? Sure, movie theater chains are really gonna like that approach, but I'll save that for when I do my Wonder Woman video. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. What did you think of this trailer for the Tom and Jerry movie? Do you have your concerns like me, or do you hope that it's good? And it honestly really like pains me whenever I have to do when I do videos where I watch a trailer and it turns out to be like not very good, because I don't want to come off as saying, this movie sucks, I'm not going to watch it. It's just like, no. It's not that sort of thing, because I still want to give movies a chance. I mean, look at like Pokemon Detective Pikachu, for instance. I thought that movie was going to fall on its face, and it actually turned out to be a really clever movie. It got a little overly complicated at times, but I still thought it was a pretty good movie to check out. And I hope that this Tom and Jerry movie does something similar. Maybe it'll have some surprises. Maybe they're holding back the really good slapstick. Because to be fair, maybe they are, and they just don't want to show it in like a trailer just yet, because they want to save the good stuff for the movie when it comes out, and they don't want to go down the route where they accidentally show all the good stuff in the trailers and the movie is ruined. So maybe they're doing that approach. Maybe the acting will be good. I mean, I've heard good things about Chloe Grace Moritz and of course Ken Jeong. I've seen, he seems like a really funny actor, so maybe their performances in the slapstick will make the movie at least decent. But as is, I'm really concerned after watching this trailer. So let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. And until next time, this has been Blood Moon Bobby, and thank you all for watching. Hi everyone, thanks for watching this Blood Moon Bobby video. Like and share the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel to see more of my videos, and ring the bell to be notified about my latest uploads. Don't forget to follow me on social media for my latest opinions and video updates. I hope to see you next time.